Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. So today, I want to talk to you guys basically about why mechanics don't matter that much. So mechanics or micro is essentially how good you are at controlling your champion, how well you play your champion, how good you are at dodging spells, landing spells, and all those types of things. And don't get me wrong, those things are important, just to a much lesser extent than decision making. And so we're really going to hard focus on all of my decision making in this game. I'm currently learning Orianna. I'm pretty bad at Orianna right now, and yet I've still been carrying, getting MVPs, and having 950 gold per minute in over 20 games of a challenger level Orianna, gameplay. So even when I suck at the champion, I'm still able to do a lot of this. I miss a lot of ults, I do a lot of these things, but I'm still able to go and kind of pop off, and I'm going to show you guys basically why. So the initial thing that I'm going to talk about right here is basically the enemy. I understand their goal versus my goal. Morgana wants to poke someone. My champion has better auto attack damage because of Orianna passive, and so I go really hard trying to get as many autos on Morgana as possible, while Morgana ends up putting herself in a position where she's way too far up instead of trying to play around poke. So the first thing is understanding your champion's strengths. You don't need to be good at your champion if you understand their strengths, because they're just naturally going to take advantage of these small windows and these small opportunities that occur regardless of if you're good. Like, anyone can auto attack, you know? There's nothing hard about auto attacking. And then the next thing here is just making the game easy for yourself. So I wait until the enemy walk up before I use my abilities on them, so that they're pressured to have to, go for the minion, and then I make them choose between a minion or between, attacking me. And so there's nothing special about this. I'm literally auto-aiming my first ability onto this Morgana. It requires no mechanical skill, nothing, because I put myself in a position where mechanical skill is not necessary. I put my ball in a place where it will travel very quickly towards her, because the closer you put the ball towards the Morgana, the closer or the easier it is to land the spell, because the quicker it'll get there. And so I'm just doing all these things to literally not have to play mechanically well, because I don't have to land a spell. My spell is going to be there automatically whenever she walks up to to last hit. And again, she walked up to last hit. I immediately first ability, second ability. No skill required. I haven't done a single mechanical thing that is impressive this game, but every time that you saw another minion low, I immediately throw my first ability on her to make her choose between taking damage or getting the last hit. Once again, I'm just keeping her pressured in her lane, and then I'm just skipping through here a little bit. You're going to see right after we crash the wave, then all we do is we just go and help our teammate, because our teammate's on the objective. And so because we had that push, we had that pressure in the lane, we're able to go and help our teammate very easily. And we will be skipping through because we're focused really on decision making here. But here again, you can see I missed my first ability and my second ability, and yet we still get a positive result from the play, because all of the things I did leading up to it led to Morgana having the recall. Meanwhile, I get two for free. Go and help my teammates. So even if I'm not very useful because I miss all my spells, I'm more useful than my opponent, and these are the types of things that really matter. The next thing I do, I recall on a proper timer. I recall when I have my boots. Morgana recalled already once, and she didn't buy her mana boots, so she recalled on a bad gold timer, whereas I recalled on a much better gold timer. So even these types of things put you in good positions. And then skipping forward now to here, at this point in the game, again, I'm just going to look to punish Morgana when she walks up by just poking her really easily. Again, just very straightforward gameplay, nothing really special here. And then we just continue to do the same thing. And that's why I'm kind of not going to talk super specific about this, because I've told you guys many, many times about this type of thing. And then I want to talk about a dumb mistake I made here, right? Like, I don't know where the jungle is. I walk up and I let Morgana hit a root on me because I get pretty cocky. And this is just a bad decision by me because there's such a big wave. I'm going to get punished really hard. But I want to talk about what I do once I get rooted, which obviously, again, is a dumb mistake that I make here in a second. So I noticed that the Viego is coming to gank me. Now, it's important when you're getting ganked to not panic and flash right away, because then the enemy will use their mobility to follow you. What I do is I try to wait out the Viego's second ability here before flashing. And you're going to notice I'm waiting, and then I see it and I flash it. So when you know what type of spell to flash, you can do something like that. And then what I ended up doing is, because I knew he didn't have his cooldowns up, I turn on him, immediately ult them both, and we get the kill. So this is actually, in my opinion, like, it doesn't look as impressive as some of the things you guys might watch and be like, oh my god, that's so cool, he had a 3-man ultimate. But in my opinion, this is one of the most impressive plays I've made in a long time in terms of a lot of my videos, because I'm waiting out the key spell that I know can hit me, and then I know immediately that now that key spell's gone, I go forward and I'm aggressive. Most people, when they flash and they're ganked like that, would just run away and just be like, oh, at least I didn't die, you know, whatever, I lost my flash. But looking for that type of opportunity to turn the play and then end up getting a kill over to your jungle, well, now your jungle is going to be able to carry way harder because you got him that extra kill. And so these types of things are super important to understand, and a lot of people don't realize it. And then here again, what am I doing right now? Why would I rotate in this situation when there's a wave? I usually tell you guys not to. Well, that's because I don't care about Morgana getting a little bit of gold due to the fact that she's playing really, really poorly and I'm already super far ahead of her. And so what I'd prefer to do is then get, again, because I did push the wave first and then now the wave is getting there as I come all the way back here. I'd rather get the wave on the Baron lane where I have a Malphite Garen, both people who don't utilize gold nearly as well as my champion, play for these extra turret plates and help my teammate potentially dive them where there's a Scorpion. And so that's what I end up doing. And then Garen ends up killing the Malphite here, but I get the kill onto Garen. And this is 100% a worthwhile play because I get a wave, I get the kill, whereas Garen gets the kill. Again, a lot less valuable onto the Garen. Now, you could argue mathematically it's not a good play, right? Because I do lose those plates. And that is where these differences and choices come sometimes, where even though I give you guys hard rules to follow, the reason I give you guys hard rules to follow is because, like, as in like set rules to follow, is because those rules will work a majority of the time. And even if I followed my normal rules here, it still would have been a good decision by me because I'd still be in a good spot. But once you get better at the game and you get to the higher level, again, I don't really recommend making a play like that in a low elo. When you get to these higher levels, you start to see these sort of key moments where you can really break open a game and get yourself even, you know, further ahead. And it's a big risk, but at the end of the day, sometimes those risks are necessary for winning the game. And so that's one of those times where I determined, you know, I could end up snowballing the game pretty well, playing around my Malphite to use his gank setup to get me an easy kill. And again, was it the best play? I don't think. I think it's very, very likely that you could say that it would have been better for me to just stay in mid lane. But a play like that, again, is the type of play I'm looking for to break open turrets and stuff. Whereas the Morgana here ends up going for a roam right when I'm on a wave, and she doesn't really get much value out of that roam overall, just because she's not that strong, and my teammates were already kind of under turret, and they're not really going to dive or anything because they don't have any front line to tank the dive, and so then I just end up being able to cover here pretty easily. And I pushed the wave first, so again, I'm in a beneficial spot there. And then we just chase them down on the gank, we get the ult off, we kill the Jinx. Pretty straightforward there. And yeah, because we push our wave first as well, we're just getting more value in general. We get the double kill now. We get the kill onto the Melio, and then right after our gank works out, we go and we take the turret. That's another important thing, again, is playing around these turrets after you get a gank to work out. So after you push a wave, after you get a gank to work out, that type of thing, it's important to take as much gold as possible, and then, you know, spend your gold right after. And now, again, I'm already at 6.6k gold, and the Morgana even got the first turret in the mid lane, right? And I'm still ahead a lot of gold, despite, you know, losing my turret to the Herald. So then again, now she's going topside here. I'm just going to ward, and I believe I end up just covering the wave first again, because getting that wave pushed initially is typically what you're going to prefer to do, instead of just matching a roam where you're already going to be out roamed. And then now I'm just able to get a bunch of turret plates. And again, you could say, well, maybe you could go help your teammates here. But on a scaling mage like Orianna, keeping this super high gold like this is just going to be a lot more valuable most of the time. Getting that gold on yourself, whereas they're kind of taking that risky, you know, not 100% guaranteed play, where I'm just taking the guaranteed play to get that gold onto myself. I'm already really strong, and so I know if I'm hitting my Infinity Orb power spike early on, I'm going to be really strong again, and I'm already ahead 2.5k gold onto this Morgana. So again, that solo queue mindset of kind of being more selfish, especially on a champion like Orianna, you know, or Syndra, or any scaling mage, and then taking these roams that will benefit you. Again, my roams aren't really the roams that are going to benefit my teammates, they're just the roams that are going to benefit me for the most part. And then I take the wave right again. Why am I taking the wave? Because it's a Malphite. I don't care about Malphite getting the wave. Me getting this gold is way more important. Malphite's always going to be able to click gold. He's always going to be useful. I'm not that useful if I'm behind, so that's kind of an important understanding to have as well. Is who's you know, the gold going on doesn't matter, because if you're playing a Malphite, obviously you still want to get gold on yourself. You still want to be relatively efficient, but as a Malphite, you're fine with your Orianna taking your wave, but as an Orianna, you're probably not fine with your Malphite taking your wave. So this is an important thing to understand. Where the gold is on is an important thing, and that's why even here, again, my teammates are mid. Instead of going mid right away, this is one of the key plays of the game that I make as well. A lot of people here just go mid and they try to fight, and they're like, oh, well, my teammates might fight, they might die, I gotta go help my teammates. I agree, your teammates are gonna die a lot. They're dumb, they do those things. But there's no mid turret up. You know, there's no tier 1 mid turret of the enemies up. There's no tier 1 top turret. I can make an aggressive play for this bottom lane turret and get a potential kill. And worst case scenario, my teammates die and I lose that one turret. And best case scenario, they don't die and they're able to defend the turret. So again, for me, getting this gold onto myself is just going to be a way more important play for the long run for carrying the game myself. Again, if you want to talk about like, oh, is this the correct play in an organized game where everyone knows what they're doing? No, it might not be. But we're not in an organized game. We're in solo queue, and even in challenger solo queue, this is how it works, right? So just imagine for those viewers that are a little lower rank, and then the Viego ends up inting into us, and we get a kill there as well. So we end up getting another kill there, getting the turret. I'm just absolutely, I think I'm over 1,000 gold per minute. Again, like my Orianna gold in challenger this season is like 950 gold per minute. Yeah, I'm over 1,000 gold per minute, and being over 900 gold per minute on a scaling mid lane mage means you're hitting death cap third item, usually only like a minute or two after second dragon, and you're just absolutely going to dominate. You're going to get it, just like you're going to see the damage late game. I mean, this is what you're basically waiting for. And again, if you disagree with this choice, right, and you're like, no, you need to be helping your teammates, you need to roam more, you need to do that, then lock in Jace, right? Lock in Akshan, lock in Annie, lock in Lissandra, lock in a champion that does what you want to do. So if you like a roaming playstyle, a team focused playstyle, play a team-focused champion. Don't play a scaling mage. And so this is kind of the important thing that I think does get lost sometimes, because I'm always telling you guys to play selfish, but this completely depends on your champion as well. And I play a lot of selfish champions because I do find this is the best way to climb in solo queue. I don't really, there's people who climb with unselfish champions, and I have climbed, with unselfish champions. I mean, like a long time ago, I'd even climbed, like when I was a Grandmaster Peak player, I'd solo queue Grandmaster 2, and also this is a dumb play here. That was unfortunate, but I solo queued Grandmaster, playing only Nami, and then like other, I've played other like unselfish champions like Vi jungle or other things, right? And climbed to Challenger Sovereign with these things. But just generally speaking, it's a lot easier to be climbing with, champions who can be a bit more self-reliant and who kind of take control of the game a bit more, that type of thing. But we end up dying, but our team gets some kills, so it's not that bad. And then immediately I'm looking for the gold again on the side lane. Like, notice how there's about a 40-second window between the dragon. A lot of people would go mid lane right away and just wait for the dragon. For me, I want to hit as much gold as I possibly can, so I'm going to greed these additional waves. Sometimes this results in your death, and I believe I die here, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's a different... yeah, I think I see them coming, and so then I recall because I'm a little scared of dying. So yeah, we recall here. But even if I were to die on that timer, it'd not be the end of the world. And again, I wouldn't expect to most likely die because the wave was relatively neutral. But we're just really trying to greed that gold. And then now I am pretty much on my item power spikes that I need to be. I'm close to death cap. I hit my QSS. I have my Ludens, my Infinity Orb. And now this is when my champion starts to just have absurd damage. Like, look at that damage on Morgana. Just almost one-shot Morgana with just 3 spells. Then we flash onto her. We kill her. Again, absurd damage. And then we get the Garen. And that's what you're waiting for, is that type of damage, which you can't possibly have. And I'm already on death cap, actually. And you just can't possibly have that damage if you're playing, like, for your team, right? And again, play other champions if you want to do that. Play Galio. Play whatever. And that's a playstyle that can work. To me, not the optimal playstyle most of the time in solo queue. If you're playing duo queue with a really good jungle friend or a really good ADC or someone, that's different. So I just want to like reiterate that as well, because I've climbed, again, with duo queue a lot, right? But when I climb in solo queue, it's the selfish play style. When I climb in duo queue, I can play with someone who's good. I don't have to rely on them as much. I am duo for this game. I want to be clear about that, though. I'm duo with the Malphite here. But I've solo queued a lot on Syndra, on other things, and selfish jungles as well. And like, this is how I do win those types of games. So that's kind of my overall thing, is like, with this video, I want to explain to you guys why the mechanics don't really matter, why a lot of the decision making going into this is really what's led to me being able to win this. I end up inting again, honestly, some bad mistakes later too. And that's kind of the mechanical thing as well. You see, like, I'm overextending, I'm getting caught. I overall play pretty well, right? But there's these certain moments where I get caught and everything, but because I made so many decisions leading up to it that were good, 1 or 2 mistakes is not usually going to lose the game. Will it lose you the game sometimes? Yes, it will sometimes. However, a lot of times those 1 or 2 mistakes, if you were making really good decisions up to that point, you have enough leeway where it's like you still have your death cap, you still have your other things. And then when I'm overextending is also important. I'm not overextending right before the key elder, or one of the key objectives right before the game. I'm overextending when a death is just a death, Like a death when there's no objectives, you just die. But a death when there's an elder, you lose the game. So obviously that type of thing is important as well, just to understand. And so yeah, now at this point, teammates going forward, Insane burst damage. Okay, wait. I actually want you guys. I accidentally killed this person. Okay, look at the person. I was trying to kill the Jinx, and I accidentally killed someone else. My second ability killed Viego, and I didn't even mean to. So the actual thing that you need to understand is if you don't know what you're doing, then neither do your opponents, and sometimes they're gonna get killed by you because you're so confused with your own mechanics. But I thought that was pretty hilarious. So I I forgot about that. I completely forgot that was part of the game, but that play really made me laugh. I think we end here. So I think that's going to be it for the video. Pretty short game. I will be having more Orianna gameplay because I'm going to be trying to get quite good at this champion and hopefully get her to 12k champion score. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Mechanics don't matter nearly as much as your decision making. You can still get the MVPs even when you suck at your champion. However, obviously being good at your champion is ideal. So that's really all I had to say for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.